In this video, I will show you how to slim or taper a pair of jeans, taking in the legs to go from a loose or relaxed fit to a slimmer fitting pair of jeans. This is a simple and effective method to downsize the leg area, and in this video, I will demonstrate the process that I've had success with. Starting with a pair of pants you like the fit of, both the waist and the leg, turn them inside out and lay them flat. Then make 3 measurements. One across the thigh, one across the knee, and one across the ankle opening. These measurements will be used as a template or the blueprint for our pants we plan to sew. For the thigh measurement, I like to measure about 1 inch down from the center seam where the legs meet. Marking 1 inch down, I then measure straight across the thigh. For the knee measurement, I measure 22 inches down from the waist. This measurement can vary, so find out where your knee sits and make your measurements according to that. "22 inches down, make your mark, and then just measure straight across. And lastly, take your measurement for the ankle opening. Now, with a pair of pants that you plan to sew, turned inside out and laid flat, mark them with the measurements you took from the previous pair. 1 inch down from the center seam and straight across the thigh. Now for the knee measurement, 22 inches down, and then straight across. Don't forget to make your mark. Now, mark your ankle measurement. With these pants, the ankle is already the size I want it to be, but if your pants are wider, just mark it like you've done the previous 2. Take a pin and pin the pants at the 3 marks you've made. This will help keep things in place. You'll notice throughout the video, I'm constantly straightening these pants. It helps to keep everything lined up and ensures that everything is in place when it comes time to sew. Now, on the other side, mark your thigh, knee, and ankle measurements the same way. I measure 22 inches down for the knee. And again, the ankle on these pants is already the size I want it to be, but I still go ahead and make a mark, just so I have something as a guide for my pinning and sewing. Now, using a ruler, or whatever you have available, make a dotted line connecting your thigh measurement to your knee measurement. Followed by another dotted line connecting your knee measurement to your ankle measurement. This will be used as a guide for pinning and sewing. Use your ruler and make another dotted line connecting your thigh measurement and knee measurement, followed by your knee measurement and ankle measurement, the same way you did on the other side. Now, pin your pants all along the dotted lines. This will help to keep everything in place. Now do the same on the other side, pinning along the dotted lines between the measurements. to do your pinning at the very top. This area can be a little bit tricky sometimes. The area where the two legs meet, where the center seam is at. What I like to do is draw a line continuing up from the thigh measurement on both sides and meeting in the center, about 1 inch up from the base of the rise. Like I said, this can take a couple of times to get right, and depending on how much rise you have to work with, it might take a couple of tries. Now, make sure both sides are pinned in place. This pair is pretty much ready to start sewing. I also wanted to show what you would need to do if you decide to sew your pants on the outside of the leg instead of the inside. You will make your 3 measurements the same way: the thigh, knee, and ankle. But instead of making your marks on the inner part of the leg, you will make your marks on the outer part of the leg. I'm taking my second measurement 22 inches down, and I'll make my mark on the outer part of the knee. With this pair, the ankle is wider than I want it to be, so I'll make my measurement straight across, and then make my mark on the outer part of the ankle. Now, make a dotted line connecting your thigh measurement to your knee measurement, followed by another line connecting your knee measurement to your ankle measurement. This will be used as a reference for pinning and sewing. Now, pin your pants along the dotted line. Mark your measurements on the other side the same way: the thigh, knee, and ankle, marking each measurement on the outside of the leg. Now, mark your dotted lines between your measurements. Now, add your pins along the dotted line. Another area that can be a little tricky is finishing the section just above your thigh measurement. Once you are at this point when sewing, angle your pants slightly, sewing a line that tapers off towards and ends on the outside seam. This is what usually works best for me. Since we aren't sewing all the way to the top, sewing a tapered line that meets the outside seam just below the pocket is what I typically aim for. It might take a few tries to get it how you'd like it to look, but once you've got it, everything should look great when the pants are right side out. And now, these pants are also ready to be sewn. For this video, I only sew the pants that we are altering the inside seam on, but you would use the same method for the pants that we altered the outside seam for as well. Start your thread and then run a reverse stitch over it a time or two, just to lock everything in place. Then just follow along your dotted line, pulling your pins out as you go. The center seam can be a little bit tough for some machines, since this area usually consists of multiple layers of fabric. I usually help my machine along by manually turning the flywheel in these situations. Finish it off by running a reverse stitch back over the end of your seam to help lock everything in place. I usually run a second line of stitches all the way around the pants, parallel to the first one. This helps reinforce the seam. Then, trim off the excess material, leaving behind about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This is where we will sew the hem. To finish the hem, I use a zigzag stitch and go all the way around the edge of the pants. You can use whatever you generally use for hemming. This is just what I typically do. And of course, I always add a quick reverse stitch at both the beginning and the end to lock my thread in place. And the finished product should look something like this.